Red leather, yellow leather, red. Yeah, fuck it. Hey folks, Maikeli7 here. Broken leg, winter of 2010/11. This sucks. Anyway, Chuck has graciously asked me to participate in an interview, and he already recorded his part kind of a while ago. Actually, you can tell by the hair. His hair is kind of short now. He had 5 questions that he answered, and I'm going to do the same thing. Question number 1. Let's see. God, I need my glasses. What do you think about the rules change from year to year?
Well, regular gradual rules changes to make it better. They're pretty much a necessary thing. If you look at last year when I was the judge, I had one rule in the contest that was absolutely not necessary. That was dividing up the categories into a sub-0 and from 0 to 32. That had no significance whatsoever, did nothing. It was just kind of stuck in there. Tried it, thought it would work, but it wasn't workable, so that needed to be discarded. There's also other things that need to be added from year to year. Cliff pointed out, which I found out towards the end of mine, I wish I would have added, was the fact of people having to actually join the Polar Bear Challenge site, so it'd be easier for me to keep track of their videos, because as I think I said before in a couple of other videos, people would make Polar Bear Challenge videos and I wouldn't even realize they had entered until somehow through a link or somebody letting me know that they even posted a video. So I wish I would have done that different. It did work out. I mean, because it was small the way it was, it did end up working out, and I don't think I had any problems, and I don't think any videos that anybody submitted got left out, but that could have easily happened. So that's been corrected this year too. So anyway, getting to the first question.
Well, basically the rules don't change a whole lot. Just the little things here and there, and maybe a new category might be added or something experimental is added. Cliff, otherwise known as Loud Pipes, is really doing a great job. So I'm very happy with it. It doesn't really bother me at all. The thing that's important to me is that people get out and ride in the cold. That's pretty much that. Number 2, what do you think of this year's changes?
Anytime there's another judge other than me, I'm not going to totally agree with everything, and even like when I was judge last year, I go back and I'd have to say I would probably do a few things different. So that's just going to happen. That's just the way it's going to be. So yeah, there's some things I agree with, some things I disagree with, but nothing that doesn't really, make me want to not participate or anything like that. If there was something that drastic, I guess I would have probably posted or talked about it, but I think it really does need to not stay exactly the same, even if we get all of the kinks ironed out and stuff like that. I still think it needs to take on the flavor of whoever's judging it year by year, and they need to throw in some ideas too to kind of keep it fresh and moving along. I mean, that's part of the interesting part of football or baseball, is the referees and the umpires and stuff like that. I'd hate to see those games become robotic, that everything is just so technical and computerized or whatever like that, that you don't need human beings. I think the judge is a participant, even just being the judge, even if they don't participate and make videos, is part of what the Polar Bear Challenge is. So if they bring new ideas on board and they don't work, so what? We'll just do like my idea from last year about the dividing up the categories. We'll just say, well, it didn't work so good, we'll toss that. Something else that came in does work really good, so we'll leave that in. It's just the normal ebb and flow of it. Second question.
There was one change where it was going to be thought of maybe people could participate in like a polar cub thing, where they can ride above 32 degrees but below 42 degrees, something like that. And I really didn't have a problem with it. I know that the Polar Bear Challenge is supposed to be polar bear, but I'm always flexible, so if somebody wants to create a new category and be more inclusive, that's pretty much fine with me. And I think the idea of Polar Bear Cub, I think is what Navy Thomas 8 came up with. That's pretty good. So yeah, I think this year's changes are fine. And the grid system that Loud Pipes came up with is stunning to me. I mean, really, somebody call NASA. What do you think of heated gear in the Polar Bear Challenge?
That's a real hard call to actually eliminate anything. I would say really, use, if you got it and it helps you do the challenge, as long as you're following the basic rules of being, on a two-wheeler and out at the right temperature that it takes and doing it for the amount of time, do what it needs to be. I think there's a definite part of me, as far as I view it, that I want to do it in a purist way. I want to learn enough skills to where I don't have to rely on things like heated gear, heated vests, heated grips, and I don't use them. I don't believe I should have to rely on a windshield either. I mean, I've made that statement before, and a lot of people have known too, that I don't ride with a windshield, and I'm not going to put a windshield on just for the Polar Bear Challenge event too. So I think that loses a lot of my advantage too, because I think riding with a windshield, I did for one season back when I used to ride a long time ago. I rode for one season with a windshield, and I will say on cold days it'll give you about a 10-degree advantage easily. But no, I want to make the challenge my way, and I want to do it my way and actually get a little bit better each time. And using helping stuff like that, it's fine if it gets you started, and if you need it for some reason. I don't want to ever have it be in the challenge that you can't use that stuff, and how could you prove it anyway? I mean, somebody could, just do it and not say they did it, but I think every year it's about challenging yourself. So if you used a heated vest to be able to get through the challenge one year, go ahead and do it. And then the next year, if you think you've learned enough to where you can try it without, try it without. Make it a competition for yourself, competing against yourself. Third question.
Personally, I don't use heated gear. I thought about it last year maybe, but nah. I guess I'm kind of old school that way. I just want to challenge myself to see how much I can take. So I'm not a fan of heated gear, but I do use a windshield in the really cold stuff, or did. And I have a wind deflector underneath the back of the front fork to deflect wind away. So there are strategies, and of course I wear really warm clothes. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and if somebody used heated gear, okay, fine. I would snicker at them, but I understand. So if you have heated grips or a heated seat or a heated vest, then that's fine. Go right ahead. But I'm just going to limp. Limp.